What if I told you that a 24-year-old Italian is doing something even Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal never managed to do at this age? Just days ago, Jannik Sinner made history by winning 5 straight ATP Masters, 1,000 titles, something no player has ever done before. Now, he's one win away from breaking another Djokovic record. And with Carlos Alcaraz officially out of the French Open due to injury, tennis fans are asking one massive question. Is this finally the year Jannik Sinner takes over the entire sport? Let's break it all down. Part 1. Sinner's historic run. Jannik Sinner is no longer just the future of tennis. Right now, he is tennis. The Italian superstar entered the 2026 Italian Open carrying unbelievable momentum after winning the Madrid Open just 9 days earlier. That victory made him the first player in ATP history to win 5 consecutive Masters, 1,000 tournaments. And that's absolutely insane when you realize who he passed. Both Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal only managed 4 straight Masters titles during their best stretches. Sinner just surpassed them both at only 24 years old. That's the kind of dominance we usually only talk about years later when discussing all-time greats. But Sinner is doing it right now. Part 2. Rome crowd witnesses another record. Then came Rome. Playing in front of his home crowd at the Italian Open, Sinner faced fellow Italian Andrea Pellegrino. And honestly, the match barely looked competitive. Sinner cruised to a straight-set victory, 6-2, 6-3, extending his Masters 1,000 winning streak to 31 matches. That tied Djokovic's legendary 2011 record, 31 consecutive wins at Masters level. Think about how difficult that is in modern tennis. You're constantly facing elite opponents on different surfaces, in different countries, with enormous pressure every single week. Yet Sinner keeps winning. And now, standing in his way, is Russian star Andrei Rublev. If Sinner beats Rublev, he officially breaks Djokovic's Masters win streak record. And suddenly the conversation changes from future superstar to potentially one of the greatest peaks tennis has ever seen. Part 3. Why Masters? 1,000 titles matter so much. Now, casual fans may wonder, why is everyone making such a big deal about Masters? 1,000 tournaments? Well, outside the 4 Grand Slams, the Australian Open, Roland-Garros, Wimbledon, and the US Open, Masters 1,000 events are the biggest tournaments in tennis. They feature almost every top player in the world. Winning one is difficult. Winning 5 in a row? That's almost unheard of. And the craziest part? Sinner hasn't lost a completed Masters match since last year in Shanghai. The only reason his streak ended there was because he physically had to retire due to severe leg cramps against Talon Griekspoor. So technically, nobody has truly beaten him in a Masters event for months. That's domination, pure domination. Part 4. Chasing another impossible milestone. But there's another historic achievement waiting for Sinner. If he wins the Italian Open, he will complete something only Novak Djokovic has ever accomplished, winning all 9 Masters 1,000 tournaments. Djokovic completed the set at age 31. Sinner could do it before turning 25. That's absurd, and it perfectly explains why so many tennis analysts believe we are witnessing the beginning of a completely new era in men's tennis. Sinner himself recently said, if you want to be a great player, you've got to play on all the surfaces and all the tournaments at your maximum. Then he added something even more powerful. The mind is what makes the difference. And honestly, that quote explains everything about his rise. Because physically, many players are talented. But mentally, Sinner looks untouchable right now. Part 5. The French Open Opportunity. Now let's talk about the biggest storyline of all, the French Open. Clay has traditionally been Sinner's toughest Grand Slam surface. Last year, he came painfully close to reaching the final. He actually led Carlos Alcaraz by 2 sets before losing an epic 5.5-hour battle filled with dramatic tiebreaks. That match proved something important. Sinner could compete with Alcaraz on clay. But now, everything has changed. Alcaraz has already announced he will miss Roland-Garros because of a wrist injury. That means the biggest obstacle standing in Sinner's way is gone. And suddenly, the French Open draw looks very different. If Sinner wins Roland-Garros this year, he would finally complete his career Grand Slam. That's one of the rarest achievements in sports. Winning all 4 major tournaments, different surfaces, different conditions, different styles of tennis. Only legends achieve that, and Sinner is now incredibly close. Part 6. The Nadal Comparison. There's another reason this Italian Open matters so much. If Sinner wins the tournament, He becomes the first man since Rafael Nadal in 2010 to sweep the Clay Masters, 1000 season. And anytime your name appears next to Nadal on clay, you know you're doing something special. Because Nadal didn't just dominate clay tennis, he practically owned it for 2 decades. So for Sinner to even be mentioned in the same sentence tells you how extraordinary this run has become. Part 7, Italy waiting for a hero. And finally, there's the emotional side of this story. Italy has been waiting nearly 50 years for a home champion in Rome. The last Italian man to win the tournament was Adriano Panatta back in 1976, almost half a century ago. Now an entire nation believes Sinner can finally end that drought. And honestly, the timing feels perfect. Home crowd, world #1 ranking, historic winning streak, French Open momentum. Everything is lining up for a legendary moment. Right now, Jannik Sinner isn't just winning tennis matches. He's rewriting history. He's breaking records once thought untouchable. He's surpassing legends before turning 25. And with the French Open approaching fast, tennis may be witnessing the start of a brand new dynasty. The only question left is, can anyone stop him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Jannik Sinner already the best player in the world right now? And do you think he'll finally win the French Open this year? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more tennis updates and breaking stories. Thanks for watching.